After fighting with the wiring for about a week-ish, we decided that it's just going to be easier to tear everything out and start over. By that, I mean anything at the panel. Any wiring that is in okay shape that's not falling apart in the rest of the boat, all the wire runs and everything. We're not going to replace everything, but the panel is going to be brand new and the wiring and everything is going to be a lot easier to trace in the future. Mostly the problem is that we have AC and DC mixed into the same panel. So we got AC here, we got DC here that's actually feeding the panel that's up here, which also has AC in it that then comes back down to this panel. It's a mess, and I figure mostly we pull all these out, we label everything, we run new terminations, and then we have only DC up here and only AC down there, and that'll make everyone happy. I have determined that I am going to have to run all new AC cabin outlet wires. Nothing in there is tin copper, and the insulation's dry rotted in several places within the panel, and I'm sure it's only worse elsewhere. So that'll be fun. You guys can look forward to that. I just found this cable here. We got two spliced into one, but that's not the bad part. Is like, it's not even connected. Like, what the it wasn't even crimped. These are to AC lights, which means, you know, high voltage. I mean, last one. Well, last two, really. Kind of wish Vicki was here. Her hands are tinier. But it sure does feel good. Well, at least these are the last two for this section. There's a giant mess down below that I'll show you in a second. This is one gigantic mess now. All these, though, are just draped down from the top, so I think really the next plan is to take all of the ones that were on the DC positive and negative bus bars that went up and take those out just to get more out of the way, and then label everything that goes down, because that's what goes to the rest of the boat. What are you doing?
I am blocking the progress.
Why? Why did you block the progress?
Progress!
Oh, jeez. After tearing through the old distribution, we now have a completely blank slate to work with. And we kind of designed it out to be a little bit easier to work on in the future. And we still have to run a few new wires. Most of these are actually going back in, but some of them are old and crusty. Some of the old AC outlets aren't really, the wiring isn't really that great, so it's going to get replaced.
Some of it's not marine grade either, so we're going to make sure that it's marine grade.
Yay!
Yay! So we are doing a couple tests here. We are trying to figure out how we want to apply this paint to the inside of here. So we have already done one test coat. We used some mineral spirits to clean the wall. And this test we're going to use some lacquer thinner to clean the wall. And then we're also going to try the regular old sanding method, and maybe try a couple other methods to see what looks best when correctly applied. Alright, we are using Petit Easy Cabin Coat White. And according to the manufacturer, you shouldn't need to prep or minimal prep to each surface. So that is why we are doing a couple different samples to see what works best in our situation. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, coat one applied. Wait for that to dry and then we'll do a second coat. Sounds good.
Alright, what are you going to talk about?
We are going to be doing prep for paint. We decided that just cleaning it with the lacquer thinner and the acetone was not enough. So, well,
it was all right.
Okay, it was all right, but
Vicky's got problems and she wants it to be perfect, even though no one's literally ever going to see this except for anyone that comes and visits the boat. Is going to get a tour of the panel.
I'm allowed to be a perfectionist. Anyways, so we want it nice and smooth because right now, ow, I just hurt myself. Anyways,
we want it nice and smooth so when you rub your hand all over the wall, you don't hurt yourself, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, you don't want to hurt yourself because there's going to be a lot of wires in here and you're already going to hurt yourself. So no extra hurting yourself by just base wire. Wall. By base wall. Anyways.
Alright, good. So we made up a lot of new words today.
New words. Yay! Anyways, so we're going to sand it on down and then we're going to do some epoxy, fill up some of these holes that go through to the other side because I don't understand why there's holes on the other side.
There used to be lights and stuff in there because it was a cabin before.
Oh, well, now it's a work area.
Well, it was a settee for the poor schlub who had to run the boat for the Richies.
Well, we don't got any of those. So, we're going to fill up these holes so our electrical panel is completely sealed in itself, besides where the wires go through. So, yay, let's go do it.
So, I wanted to show you guys up close. We have a couple of these have been filled where it kind of sticks through the wall, but we're gonna actually have a raceway going there. So I'm gonna cut that off with the oscillating tool here. And there's a couple other spots that we're gonna cut flush, and then we're gonna sand it all down, prep it for painting. Here's a close-up of all. There's just so many holes, whether it's from old bus bars or through to the other side for various reasons. No! You gotta wait till I turn the thing on. I was doing a video first.
That scared me.
Okay, I'm talking to you. The camera's recording.
Hi, camera.
Alright. Alright. Tell us what you're doing.
Sanding.
Cool.
Yay.
It's the first time using this tool, huh? Well, obviously we saw a second ago where you were like, meh, I don't know how this works.
Don't make fun of me.
Okay.
Can I use it now?
No, I gotta turn the vacuum on.
Oh, yeah. Wow, that hurt. We forgot our earplugs at home. I think next time we're gonna really remember them. I have a lot of ringing in my ears right now. One down, one to go. We're not gonna film that because that's down here. You can't see it. See you later.
For the panel feed, what we wanted to do was cut out a little chunk so that that can run outside the raceway without, you know, kind of looking all funky. So here's what I did was I cut this chunk out here. So the raceway is going to go here over this hole, and the panel feed lines are actually going to come up here. And we have a similar cutout down here. This was already here before, and that's actually what gave me the idea. Because the panel feed used to go through there, but it stopped in this bottom compartment. I think it was like mounted here somewhere. So we're going to just continue that same idea up here. Go up and feed, you know, positive, negative bus bars. Well, I think the positive will stay down here. That's doesn't really matter at this point. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some epoxy on that to smooth it out, and then clean up the bottom section and maybe get some paint on something today. Just kidding, I ran out of time. I finished doing the epoxy, and I don't think there's going to be enough time to paint anything today. Plus, I'd have to be very careful where I paint, and if something starts to run, it's going to mix with the epoxy. So here, I'll just show you what I got done over here. So I got some in this corner, and I actually touched up a few spots that I had missed on the wall here. Basically, I had to touch up pretty much all of the corners, so it's going to be a thing for tomorrow. Today is plenty warm. I am pretty sure that the epoxy will be cured by tomorrow. So the epoxy took about 3 days to cure. I think it was too cold. I'm about 100% certain it was too cold. The night that we applied it, it dropped about 10 degrees cooler than we thought it would. Forecast is never perfect, I guess. So today, now that it's cured, I'm going to clean up the amine blush and go ahead and put the first coat of paint on here. All right, what are we doing? What are you doing?
I'm taking the paint can off.
The paint can, huh?
I mean, the paint lid off, so I can start painting. And instead of doing what Chris did and painting the middle section first, I'm going to smartly paint the top and the sides first, and then paint the middle, so when I have to lean my head in here, I don't get any on the top of my head. Much more smart.
Right. Also, I'm gonna go get your bandana, so just in case.
Yeah, because knowing me, I will get paint in my hair.
How many coats is this, Vicki?
This will be number 4.
Cool.
Yep. It's looking really nice now. I think maybe this coat, maybe one or two more, and we should be good to start installing the strip thingies and the wires. I couldn't remember.
The raceways and the terminal strips?
Yeah, those
and the
things.
Bus bars?
Yes, those things. Because we all know I do not do words.
Cool.
Cool.
Alright, well, I'm gonna get back to wiring stuff.
Go have fun wiring stuff, so I'll be here. Beer?
Beer?
I'll be beer.
Where's the beer?
I want beer. Alright, I'll be here painting. Well, the panel is nice and pretty, as you can tell. Took about 4 or 5 coats, but it is nice and white. So next job is to take the lovely tape off. Woo!
I feel like you should have taken that off while the paint was still wet.
Well, you know what? I was tired and I had paint in my hair after wearing the bandana. It's tapey.
Tape does tend to be tapey.
Shut up. I meant sticky.
Tape also tends to be sticky.
Well, that is the purpose of tape, right?
Yep, I could have done that and that. And that. But I wouldn't have looked as good doing it.